Open sesame.
Time to twirl! Be of your body and mind. This big diamond! It's all yours!
Let the show begin!
Expand your thinking.
Time to cleanse the filth. Everything in this world is bleeding.
Endless riddles. Nothing but a void. Open sesame. Glimpse the unknown.
Yeah.
Expand your thinking. Open sesame. Endless riddles. Nothing but a void. Expand your thinking. Watch it crumble.
Time to twirl!
Dreams do come true.
This big diamond! It's all yours!
Let the show begin! Still the same one.
Everything in this world is bleeding.
Open sesame.
Yeah.
Endless riddles. Nothing but a void. Expand your thinking. Glimpse the unknown.
be swept away by the wind.
Let the show begin!
Everything in this world is bleeding. Set the seas ablaze! Fight to live! Existence is unity. Set the seas ablaze! Yeah. Fight to live! Set the seas ablaze!
Initiate cleanup.
Let the show begin!
Detonate.
Until everything burns to ashes! Fight to live! Set the seas ablaze! Fight to live!
Firefly Type 4. Activate. Initiate cleanup.
Everything in this world is bleeding.
Attack.
Until everything burns to ashes! Set the seas ablaze!
All will be swept away by the wind.
Let the show begin!
Fight to live! Time to cleanse the filth. Existence is unity. Set the seas ablaze! Time to suffer.
Still the same one. It'll catch up.
Until everything burns to ashes!
Let the show begin!
Tribby is or are the adorable lost children of Argenti that denies, of course, to pay the child support. Kinda reminds me of some. In this video and guide, I will be going over in detail on her teams, relics, light cones, and much more, so make sure to stay tuned for all of those. Tribby is a 5-star quantum character following the harmony path, and while she is following the harmony path, I think you're gonna have to follow me to the kids section. Tribby has many perks of being annoying to the enemy, and her traces kind of reflect that. They might not have a lot of words, but trust me, they are very good. She gains 30 energy when she enters the battle, which is simple enough, and while her ultimate is active, she increases her max HP by 9% in the process, meaning people like Mighty and Blade excel at being very good teammates for her, because a good amount of her scalings come from her teammates' HP as well, not just her own. And finally, after her talent follow-up attack, she gains a 72% damage bonus up to 3 times, which means she gets 216 damage bonus in full. What the fuck? Her skill gives 24% res pen to all allies that will last you 3 Tribby turns, and it will tick down by 1 every time Tribby takes a turn. Try saying that 5 times very fast. It basically works exactly like Robin and Ruan Mei, where they basically tick down every time they take a turn. For her technique, which is super boring, she activates her skill when she enters battle, so we will just move over to the talent. When any ally uses their ultimate with Tribby on the field, Tribby will follow-up attack, dealing damage equal to the max HP of Tribby. And if the enemy dies before the follow-up attack, the newest enemy is going to cry himself to sleep that night. Finally, for her ultimate, she activates a zone, dealing damage to all enemies, and while they are in the zone, they take 30% more damage. And on top of all of these, every ally attack deals additional damage to the highest HP enemy present, which obviously scales with the max HP of Tribby. This has a lifespan of 2 Tribby turns, and it ticks down by 1 every time Tribby takes a turn. Harmony kits are kind of not wordy like Mighty, for example. You'll see how that video goes when it's up. I'm not gonna explain too much on it though. Before we jump to the relics, you'll want her skill and ultimate maxed out, so you can provide the max buffs to your allies, because obviously she is a support unit in most cases, and after you're done with those, I think having your talent leveled up is going to be a massive damage boost. But primarily, you'll want her as a support, and then you'll want her as a DPS, at least when you're leveling her. Relics are pretty set in stone for most supports, so you probably already have some of these. But as for her best in slot, the 4-piece Poet set is going to be fantastic, since I believe it was kind of tailor-made for her. Valorous is great for pure damage reasons, with Longevis also being very good. As for planners, you have probably already farmed most of these, and maybe the 3.1 planner set, Bone Collection, could be decent, with HP increases and crit damage on top of those, but I can't be very sure. I will go with what I will run for now. I believe Ageless can be a very good one, alongside Keel and Lushaka for pure support reasons, but nothing is really crazy on the planners here, so we'll just go over to the stats you'll need. Also, Salsoto is actually one of the better planners as well, because it does offer you the follow-up attack increase as well as the ultimate increase, which are very big factors for Tribby's damage. The stats you'll be needing for Tribby are going to be full of HP percent, so the body and the boots are going to be HP, unless you go without the Poet set. In that case, you can run the speed boots, or you just want speed boots in general. Preferably though, I think Tribby can use the Poet set much better, so you can go without the speed boots. You'll want energy regen on your rope as usual, and quantum damage bonus or HP are both pretty acceptable, with HP percent being a little bit better. As for the substats, speed is only necessary if you don't go Poet 4-piece, so that's up to you there. Other than that, HP percent above all other stats, and crit stats are going to be your next best thing for more damage. She will be getting a lot of crit rate from the Poet set, so I would recommend you go a little bit more on the crit damage than on the crit rate, but both are very good. Light cones are going to be pretty scarce to fully buff her, so even a stat stick can be okay. Compared to the alternative light cones, her signature really stands out, and it shows compared to the other ones. It increases the wearer's crit damage by 36%, and after the wearer follow-up attacks, they additionally gain 9 energy and enter the preset state, lasting 2 turns. While in this state, it increases all allies' crit damage by 48%, and when you enter battle, you gain 21 energy and enter the preset state for 2 turns automatically. For alternative light cones that aren't 5 stars, Dance 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 is something you can put on her, and for Tomorrow's Journey can be something to use for Tribby as well. For some better gacha light cones, Ruan Mei's and Robin's signature light cones are Light cones are going to be pretty scarce to fully buff her, so even a stat stick can be okay. Compared to the alternative light cones, her signature really stands out and it shows compared to the other ones. It increases the wearer's crit damage by 36%, and after the wearer follow-up attacks, they additionally gain 9 energy and enter the preset state, lasting 2 turns. While in this state, it increases all allies' crit damage by 48%, and when you enter battle, you gain 21 energy and enter the preset state for 2 turns automatically. For alternative light cones that are in 5 stars, Dance 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 is something you can put on her, and for Tomorrow's Journey can be something to use for Chibi as well. For some better gacha light cones, Ruan Maze's and Robin's signature light cones are fantastic for her. Maybe not so much Ruan Maze, but Robin's can be very incredible to use if you aren't pulling for her signature. Another light cone you can use is actually the Poised to Bloom light cone, but you are going to have to run with either 2 Harmony, 2 Erudition, or 2 of the same path for you to activate this certain buff. And by far the best option you almost have is the For Tomorrow's Journey, as I said before, because it gives you a lot of attack and it gives you a lot of damage increase after you have your ultimate used, which for completely free-to-play players, this actually is pretty good. Now for an actually useful part of this guide, the team section. I'll be covering some team comps that she's very good in and her ideal best team. For her best teammates, we have an amazing lineup of 3 to 4 characters. Healers like Ho-Oh and especially Lynx. You guys are not ready for Lynx's comeback. Your new healer is going to be Lynx, trust me. That's all I'm going to say. Other units that can benefit from Tribi are units like Fei Xiao, getting massive ult stacks from Tribi, and someone like March or Motsa that will be your second frequent attacker. Another unit that can be a very good pair-up, and is basically their father, is Argenti, spamming his ultimates for lots of Tribi follow-up attacks, but in general, all DPSs can work since she is basically a Ruan Mei, and she can increase the damage dealt on enemies. But again, more specifically, the more premium units for her are of course Blade, and by far her best teammate is Maidi, or Maide, which buffs not only her, but she also buffs him, so Mr. Gilgamesh is the GOAT once again. I also want to mention that AoE units have an incredible advantage with Tribi, since the highest HP enemy takes extra damage from the ally attacks, and the only restriction for this to trigger is how big the AoE of the ally attack is. So big and small Herda, Himiko, Aglaya, Jingyuan, Yunli, and more have a much better team output because of their AoE attacks. So keep that in mind when you're team building. Now let's go look over some team comps to see for yourself if you want Tribi and if you can make the most out of her. A team centered around having a lot of max HP characters would of course be Maidi, Tribi. You can either use Lynx, Linksha, Fuxuan, or Locha here, anybody works. And for the last slot, you can go with either Pela, Zhao Cho, Robin. You can also go with the Trailblazer, the new one. Basically, you have a lot of variety on your last slot, so you can obviously go with, again, people like Pela, which can obviously reduce defenses, or you can go with Zhao Cho that increases the ult damage, or Robin so you can buff your Tribi and Maidi to deal even more damage, and also RMC is very good in general. With a replacement for Maidi being Blade, doing his usual 5k damage, you can obviously run Blade, Tribi, and whatever I just mentioned before, but in case you don't have Maidi, Blade will be a kind of good substitute for him. It's not going to be the best team, but it definitely helps with Tribi having that max HP buff. The final team comp I have prepared is of course the father-daughter mayhem with Argenti, Tribi, and here you can definitely and should use Ho-Oh if you have her. Replacing Lynx would be a massive buff to this team because you want Argenti and Tribi of course to be dealing as many ultimates as possible. Your last slot being Flex, you can either go with the Herda, Remembrance MC, you can also go with Sunday or Robin again, basically what I mentioned before, with Herda and Sunday also being a decent option because they do give you a lot of energy, and obviously the Herda with Argenti can have that crit damage increase, so you can have even more damage on your Tribi as well. Of course, a support like her that doesn't only deal damage can work in a comp like this one with obviously any DPS can work with Tribi if you want to play her purely as a support. With Pela, Zhao Cho, Robin, Lynx, Linksha, anybody can be in those last slots because it doesn't really matter. You want Tribi and you want somebody to be ulting decently fast and you just want Lynx. That's basically the requirements for playing Tribi. There are even more combos, but these will be the good ones in my opinion. If you have any other team comps that we can possibly use for Tribi, make sure to comment them down below. Lastly, for Eidolons, I'll quickly go over them as well as talk about if E1 or S1 is better. I believe currently the true damage increase from E1 isn't as good as the total powerhouse that is S1. It not only gives you way more utility, but it also provides you with something that the alternative light cones can't even come close to providing in Triby's case. This, I have to go with an easy choice of picking S1 if you're going to invest more into her, and you can leave E1 if you're going to be spending even more than getting her and her S1. Now that you know that the light cone is better than the first Eidolon, here's what the rest of the Eidolons do as well, just in case you're a whale for Argenti's daughters. E1 allows allies to deal an extra true damage instance based off of their attack. I said something extra in the clip, but that apparently wasn't true when I checked the video, so let's move on to E2. For her E2, while her ultimate is active, all ally attacks will ignore 18% of the enemy's defense. Honestly, a fantastic stopping point. I wouldn't go to E4 and E6, but this is up to you. E4, additional damage dealt by the zone increases to 120% of the original damage, and an extra instance of the additional damage is triggered by the zone's additional damage. Basically, she can deal more damage. And finally, the big one, E6, the damage of the Talon's follow-up attack is increased by 729%. I have no idea why they give her this much, but I guess you spend 2,000 of your own money there, so it kind of makes sense. Again, you don't need any of her Eidolons. I believe the best thing you can do if you want to invest a little bit more into your Triby is get the light cone, and you will be golden. Thank you for watching this guide. Subscribe for guarantee on your next poll, and I'll see you on the My Day guide. Peace! Hello everybody, I have another Harmony unit to add to my collection. Triby.
Will be swept away by the wind.
Hi, welcome back. So V2 of the 3.1 betas just came out, and I wanted to make a video discussing Robin and Triby. There were no changes from V1 to V2, so I felt it was safe to assume that not many major changes are going to happen to Triby's kit, and everything said here is most likely going to stay true until the end of the betas, but of course, still subject to change. And honestly, Triby's kit is at a very good place right now. Not so absolutely broken that people are going to scream power creep every time they see her, and not so bad that people will absolutely doom post the shit out of her. Oh wait, never mind. People are doing both already. God. Other than Triby being one of the worst looking characters and having one of the worst voices of all time, we're going to be looking at her and Robin's kits and compare them to see which one is best for you. I do genuinely believe there is no overall value difference in the long term between these two, but there are many different account scenarios and investment options for either of them, so while I've always said Robin is a must-pull unit, for some people she may be a complete skip in her upcoming rerun, because they have an account that would be more suited towards Triby, and vice versa. So let's look at Robin and Triby's kits, and let's see which one is the best for you. Before we start, you should like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this in the future, and join the Expressway and Discord server for a fun community all about video games and anime. We've got info about all Hoyoverse and Kuro Games titles, so if you're looking for that and more, then join the Expressway. Finally, this video is obviously going to contain leaked kits, but no leaked gameplay. Now enough of that, and let's get on to it. So first things first, let's take a look at Triby's kit. Her basic attack is a blast, but nothing special about it. With her skill, she gives the party 24% all-type resistance penetration for 3 turns. And with her ultimate, she deals damage to all enemies, as well as implanting 30% vulnerability on them for 3 turns with a zone. And with her talent, she deals a follow-up attack every time a character in the party uses an ultimate. She has to have one of the most basic kits of any of the 5-star supports, because there is not much to yap about here. 24% rest pen, 30% vulnerability, and her talent is just a follow-up attack, and her traces just increase her own damage and energy regen. Now a lot of people have been doom posting the hell out of Triby, as I said, because she's apparently not good or useless or whatever, but I believe those people really don't know how powerful 30% vulnerability and 24% resistance penetration with 100% uptime are. Ruanmei has 25% rest pen, but only with her ultimate. There's usually a 1 turn downtime on it, so she's really not that bad. So the teams Triby is most useful for are any teams that are good matchups against AoE scenarios that also use ultimates often. The prime subject for her is obviously going to be Big Herta, but she's also the best support for My Day in 3.1, and speculated to be a good support for Castoris in 3.2, but there's no confirmation about that yet since we don't know anything about Castorius' kit yet. Basically, if your team does AoE and lots of ultimates, Truby is going to be the best support for it most likely. She's going to be the downright best support for 99% of upcoming DPS units, unless they're an FUA unit and not an old spam AoE unit.
Rise up.
We all know what Robin does. She gives 50% damage, around 23% of her own attack, 25% FUA crit damage, 20% overall crit damage, and a 100% action advance. And I might be skipping something, she does a lot of stuff. The main reason people may be shitting on Tribby is because Robin's kit is insanely bloated compared to hers, but with Tribby it's more so quality over quantity, I guess, even though Robin's buff still have a lot of quality. Either way, Robin is also an incredibly powerful general support, just like Tribby, but instead of AoE, she's much better against single target enemies. Tribby's follow-up attack won't do as much damage as Robin's extra damage against single target enemies, especially since Robin deals around 10k every single time an ally attacks, but Tribby only does around 30k with medium investment built to each target on the field, only when an ally does an ultimate. So old spam teams are for Tribby, FUA spam teams are for Robin, and let's give Ruan Mei a cameo here and say she's obviously the best for break teams. Now let's talk about when you should pull either Robin or Tribby or neither. If you have Fei Xiao and you don't have Robin, you should 1000% get Robin. From 3.x and further, getting Robin for Fei Xiao is going to be like getting Jiaoqiu for Acheron or Sunday for Aglaia. She really needs her to stay where she is in the meta. If you have Sunday and want to pull Aglaia, but also think you have enough funds for Robin, then you shouldn't think about pulling Tribby, and you should just go all in on Robin and Aglaia. If you already have Robin and Ruan Mei both, then I would honestly consider getting Robin Z1 over getting Tribby, because you would get Robin's action advance and part of Tribby's kit without having to build a new character. However, only do that if you already have both Robin and Ruan Mei. If you are somebody who likes the zero cycle a lot, then I believe Robin is a much wiser investment long term than Tribby, even though Tribby will be the best character for the new DPS units. In the future though, Tribby won't always be the best and Robin will beat her when it comes to zero cycling, because that 100% action advance is way too broken. If she didn't have it, she would have way less value. So if you like to zero cycle, or you think you would enjoy trying to zero cycle, definitely get Robin over Tribby, and even if you have Robin, and again, I would really consider getting Robin Z1 over Tribby because that 20% risk spam it gives would help you a lot more with any damage checks you might encounter. Robin Z1 is also just a foolproof way to almost completely avoid all sorts of power creep. Even Jing Liu can zero cycle with E1 Robin. So if you have older units you want to keep using as much as possible, then E1 Robin is a very good choice. Again though, just to clarify, if you only have Robin as a 5-star support and nobody else, you should definitely go for Tribby instead or even Sunday in the future. Now let's see when you should get Tribby. First off, you should 1000% get Tribby if you only have one other 5-star support, especially if it's just Robin. If you only have one other 5-star support that isn't Robin, you can totally just get Robin on a rerun instead, whichever you prefer or whichever you need. If you have Picarda though, or you're going to get My Day, you should definitely get Tribby as she is their best support undoubtedly. If you want to use the newer DPS units at their most efficient, other than Aglaia, then definitely get Tribby. She is, as I said earlier, going to be the best support for 9 out of 10 of the new DPS units, possibly even just to trade up 10 out of 10. If you're considering Tribby's Eidolons, then I really would advise against them. They're really not that good other than for her own damage, and even then you would have to go up to E6 for her to be doing main DPS levels of damage, or you could just pull a main DPS units. E2 though does make allies deal a bunch of true damage, but again I really wouldn't consider it. If you're looking for true damage, then just use Remembrance MC. They are a broken support just as much as she is because they are completely free. Now finally, you should also not feel compelled to pull for her if you don't like her whatsoever. I of course absolutely hate everything about her and I'm absolutely not going to pull for her even if I was given $100 to do so. Now $101, maybe. Just 100 though, not a chance. So if you also don't like her, you really don't have to pull for her, and as we've said before, especially if you already have 2 5-star supports. Robin and Sunday, Robin and Ruan Mei, Sunday and Ruan Mei. If you have 2 of them, you really don't have to get her. The differences between Tribby and Robin in a big Herta team, for example, are at their biggest, going to be from a half cycle up to a full cycle in Tribby's favor, and Robin's clears are going to be pretty equal most of the time for most people. If you don't like Tribby, you really don't have to get her. Now this also goes in the opposite way. If you don't like Robin and like Tribby instead, then you should get the character you like. It's just that if you like Tribby more than Robin, somebody probably needs to check your hard drive. So let's do a quick summary. If you have lots of AoE teams and no FUA teams and don't exactly prefer Robin over Tribby, then definitely get Tribby. However, if you get Robin instead, you won't see that drastic of a difference between the two. They're both incredibly powerful generalist supports, each with their niches, and each of them are slightly better than the other in each of them. If you have Fei Xiao or any other FUA unit like Yunli or Dr. Ratio and want to make them stronger, then again definitely get Robin, and you'll see some very great results, with Fei Xiao obviously being the best. If you already have Robin, then getting her E1 is definitely a very good option to consider because of how powerful it is. It's almost half of what Triby's kit is, and E1 Robin is most of the time going to be considerably better than E0 or possibly even E1 Triby, but I haven't really seen E1 Triby's damage. When you start talking about E2s is when things get a lot more complicated, but I really don't care to discuss them right now. If you only have no 5-star supports, then get both Robin and Triby. If you want to get Aglaia, then get Robin for her as well, and if you already have Robin and just want to try out new things and think Triby looks interesting, get her too. And that should probably cover all the bases. In my opinion, I would 9 times out of 10 go for Robin instead of Triby. Because of that action advance, it is just way too powerful, but for like the 100th time, there isn't going to be much difference between the two. Honestly, this is one of the best things they've done in a while. The fact that Triby isn't absolutely broken or absolutely docked is really, really nice. She's not always a must-pull even though she's a very powerful character with certain teams, because Robin does a very good job on those teams instead of her, but she is also not always a skip. I was very worried that Triby would cause a lot of power creep, but that's just not the case thankfully. She is very balanced for this game, and her kit is not bloated. If they keep making units like Triby, then the game is going to head back to a very right direction, and I really hope they do. My Day seems to also be just a very good DPS unit that doesn't necessarily power creep anybody, or is much worse than anybody, but he's a subject for another video. Hopefully they keep making characters like this and the game will become much better, but hey, it's Hoyo, who knows. That's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hopefully helped you reach a decision. Like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this in the future, and join the Express Train Discord server for a fun community all about video games and anime, where you will find any information about Star Rail and any other mainstream gacha game that you may be looking for. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time.
Holy shit! Scylla is dead. Wait, actually? No. Holy shit! Oh my god, wait, I just realized you skipped 6 male battles. Fucking liar.
Hey guys, Mr. Pokey here, back with another video, and today we have a woman! Ding, ding, ding! That's diabolical timing. A woman account review. So, without further ado, let's get into today's content.
Subscribe!
Alrighty. Server Europe. Hoping Light Spender Whale. Every once and I drop 100 euros to get a character. So we'll see about that. Right? We'll see about that. A favorite units. Everything start. I'm just gonna take a look at everything. Been playing since day one, and wondering what to do next with my account. Well, before we even continue, I just want to commend you for the fact that you actually yapped less than the man. Because the previous account review I just had, bro is a dude and he yapped out like 50 paragraphs. And the fact that, you know, you managed to keep everything short and concise, I do appreciate it. Thank you. Most of my units are unbuilt, and my current goal is to try and speed up Memory of Chaos and Productivity Shadow cycles to 0 cycles, and unsure of how to do it. I generally tend to get characters over light cones, but now I'm considering just dropping new characters for light cones. Current work in progress are Kelala and Jingliu. Unsure of how to proceed, and what would your advice moving forward be? So I'm gonna take into consideration that you want to get 0 cycles, because your current goal, you literally said you are trying to go for 0 cycles. So let's see if we can make a man, or rather a wee man, out of you. So back up and go home, you're true. Somehow I'll make a man out of you. Holy shit! Absolutely diabolical. You know what? E1 is a great stopping point. E1 is honestly a great stopping point for Silver Wolf. This is very, very good. Doot, doot, doot. Doot, doot, doot. Doot, 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 doot. Okay, you don't really have a lot of units for a day one account. Wait, chat, am I crazy? Or do I feel like she doesn't have a lot of units, right? She has like what, a follow-up, a super break, and we have the big tree. Yeah, we are. Wait, you don't have Guo Wang? I thought you like men. I thought you like men. Where's Guo Wang? Where's Jing Yuan? Where's Blade? You like men, but you skip all the men. So you're just a fucking liar. You're just a fucking filthy liar. Okay, I can't even say that because you're... Okay, apparently, Blood lied. Blood does not, in fact, like men. Because we basically skipped... We don't have Argenti. No Argenti. No Blade. No Jing Yuan. No Guo Wang. No Luo Cha. Legit, they had skipped like 90% of the male banners. So Blood just saving money for Silas, right? Hey, you want to save money for Silas? Hey, it's all good. Just say so. Just say so. Okay, let's go take a look at Water Yang. It's completely dead. It is what it is. Just kind of take a look at light cones. Okay. Yep. There's no blade. There's no blade. There's no blade. There's no blade, guys. I wish I could filter by gender, but there's no blade. No blade. Jing Yuan, Luo Cha, Guo Wang, and what the last Argenti. Nothing. Just hates men. And the two men didn't even race. Japar and Welt didn't even raise them. So it is what it is. Okay, this is Firefly. I actually have never seen anyone use this TBH, but this is pretty good eventually. More damage. Okay, Babin with... Okay. Can we get more poise to bloom? No. Alright, we can just slap on this real quick. Okay, ratio with Topaz signature. Kolala is fine. Firefly, okay. Yep. Oh, okay. Where is our... Okay. Oh, we are... Okay, we have to share, right? We have to share. That's fine. Aircron S1 is an excellent choice. Blah, 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 blah. Scylla, okay. Yep. Relatively relatable. I believe this is like a light spender. I wouldn't classify this account as a whale. Aside from the whatchamacallit. Aside from this, it's not necessarily a whale account, right? This is just, it is what it is. But and an E5 Bronya that's very, very pokey-walkies, right? This is very, very good. Eventually, when you do manage to get an E6, she can make Jing Yuan great again. Fuck, she can even make Fei Xiao, even at E4, Bronya is diabolically good with Fei Xiao because of the follow-up attack, right? So, anyways, let's just kind of see what we have over here. Okay, let's trace. Very good. I mean, if you don't use him, I don't really care about it that much. And skill is not that important anyways. As long as the talent is there. Okay. Wow, you actually... That's a no-no. 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 Ooh, okay, that's fine. Do I care? Nah, I don't really think I care. Okay. If you use Silver Wolf, you probably want to get this. If you don't use, I don't really care. Oh! Okay, you definitely raise this. You 100% raise this. Yeah, you definitely raise this. Alright, so let's get this out of the way. Yeah, let's get this out of the way. Everything else I don't... Is that a level 4 skill? Okay, to be fair, it does like 0 damage. But level 4 is diabolical. Level 4 is actually like diabolical. But to be fair, this really does no damage. So I'll leave it up to you. Let's... To be fair, this also does 0 damage, to be completely fair. But it's just kind of crazy that people actually leave their ultimates at level 4. So that's fine. Very nice. Okay, generally speaking, I would already say you hate women. Okay. Yeah, your trades are looking not too shabby. Relics. What? What the fuck?
Everything in this world is bleeding.
Expand your thinking. Endless riddles. Nothing but a void.
I mean, to be completely fair, in the grand scheme of things, Jiao Qiu doesn't really care about the relics. To be completely fair, right? As long as we get the stats there, he's more or less okay. I'm assuming he's always going first, right? Or at least like after Robin goes. Yeah, okay, I think it's okay. But it's just a little bit strange that we have interesting choices, right? I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Alright, especially if you, I think it's okay. If you really want to min max, consider giving the 4-piece DOT and then you slap on Von Wick. So you both get the extra turn as well as the not extra turn, the first turn, as well as the a little bit of the DOT damage just to squeeze out every possible damage that you can possibly find. Aventurine is a little bit too slow. Can you try to hit 134? Let's try to hit 134 with Aventurine. Robin is fine. 4.2k. Okay, yeah, Robin is fine. Ratio is okay. Yeah, ratio is okay. Ratio is okay. Kelala. To be fair, if you don't want to use ratio, you could, because you literally have Fei Xiao. Right? Where's your Fei Xiao? Am I blind? Ah, there it is. Holy shit. That's a very good Fei Xiao. Could you slap on and finish up the Ego 4-piece? Or it's not possible? Okay, I guess it's not possible. Holy shit! Yeah. That is a very good Fei Xiao. Well done. Absolutely. If you could complete this, then you can kind of fix the problem of not hitting 134, right? But here's what it is. I kind of working backwards to the let me just kind of go back. Kelala, nobody uses it. It is what it is. 5, ding, 5, 1, 2, 6, this is fine. Yo, Akzan! 15 months.
Can't believe it's been 15 years.
Hell yeah, bro. Thank you. 156, this is completely fine. Himeko, don't really care. Ranmei, it's okay. Jingliu, she's dead, can ignore her. Akron 68. 68 with Izu. Ooh. 84% crit rate. Holy shit. Holy shit. That's relatable. Very decent Aircron, not gonna lie. Very decent Aircron. Your Fei Xiao is slightly better. Actually, no, your Fei Xiao is a lot better. It's just that if you can complete the 4-piece, that would be great. But your Aircron is really not that far off behind. Huan, I think that's fine. Do you have Quick Proko? Great. Fei Xiao Aircron, not bad. That's 84. Jingliu, she's dead, can ignore her. Aircron, Jingliu, she's dead, can ignore her. Aircron 68. 68 with Izu. Ooh. 84% crit rate. Holy shit. Holy shit. That's relatable. Very decent Aircron, not gonna lie. Very decent Aircron. Your Fei Xiao is slightly better. Actually, no, your Fei Xiao is a lot better. It's just that if you can complete the 4-piece, that would be great. But your Aircron is really not that far off behind. Huan, I think that's fine. Do you have Quick Proko? Okay, given the Gallagher, that's fine. Bronya 134. Yeah. The first is my no money 1, 2, 3, 3. Yo, that's the prime. Maybe why are we running 4-piece Musketeer? A little bit strange. We could go for something else just to make the rainbow set. Like the way you built Jiao Qiu, but you just give her like crit damage. Right? 134 is okay if you don't want to hit the next threshold, that's fine. Fusion is okay. Scylla is dead. Wait, actually? No. Holy shit! Pretty good. Pretty good Scylla. Honestly, pretty good Scylla. Maybe drop the speed a little bit more and get more attack, but honestly, all in all, pretty good for Scylla. Silver Wolf, what are we doing here? Is this Rainbow? Do we have the EHR? You have the EHR, that's fine. Harmony Trailblazer, 166 with Ranmei. Like, oh, holy shit, that's a very good Harmony. Yep, that's fine. Yo, honestly, this account looks very manageable for a Zero Cycle. All things considered. Team is a little bit... Nah, it's okay. 1.6k defense is fine. Just a little bit slow. Can we do better for the speed? Very good speed. okay speed, 0 speed. Let's change this piece. Let's change this piece. Maybe we could run a 2+2.
No, this is something.
I keep down. No,
Allow
I,
it.
you know, back half, I'll
Please.
let him fly. But
No,
that's
please.
what you saw right there. I'm being
Yeah,
honest
yeah.
with you.
We're still getting to the 5th wing. I get it. It's perfectly good. I love that tagline.
Why are you laughing?
No, my face changed because I think I'm learning that I don't like hot sauce.
You are on top of the spice. I'll say that, you know? I wouldn't be able to tell that.
Yeah.
Do you have a go-to vocal warm-up or exercise? And if so, could you teach me it while our
Yeah.
mouths and throats are on fire over here?
Yeah.
More me than you?
Goodness, you're crying.
I know, I'm crying.
I'm going back. Are you
All right,
going back?
I'm going back.
I don't want to hurt you. Okay. So something I'll do if I have to sing is I kind of start the moment I wake up, like when I'm brushing my teeth. I'll go. Be a beautiful range,
Whoa.
and it kind of stretches throughout the day. So I'll vocalize a little bit in the morning, and then have my day, have my glam, do my thing, and get ready for the show. But throughout the whole day, I'm doing like little. And you stretch a little higher and a little longer. That's nice. That's exactly it.
I feel like an elephant
Yeah.
over here. And look at you, Ariana Grande, taking on the wings of death, living to tell the tale. And now there's nothing left to do but roll out the red carpet for you. This camera, this camera, this camera, let the people know what you have going on in your life.
Oh my gosh. My album Eternal Sunshine is out, and Wicked will be out on November 27th. Thank you so much for having me.
Anytime, you're welcome back.
What? I can't fucking believe this.
Whoa!
I feel like I'm gonna die.
I know, I get it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? For First We Feast, I'm Sean Evans, and you're watching Hot Ones. It's the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. And today we're joined by Jennifer Lawrence. She's an account. Okay. Yeah. Every Hot One shoot is a uniquely singular experience, you know?
Great concept.
Oh, thank you, thank you. But, so they're all their own unique path. But you know what? As crazy as it gets on here, I've always seen something crazier. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen some things. Not as bad as the bomb, right? No, I get it, I get it.
Thank you for like warning me, but I guess
But also,
fuck you for like having it.
No, I get
here.
it, I get it. I get
I
it.
haven't recovered. It's not getting better. Is it getting any better for you?
I'm a little
me
bit.
yes, because
I'm a
you're
little bit on
stronger
the other.
than me.
I'm on the other side of it a little bit. I'm on the other side of it, slightly.
Georgie, is my mascara waterproof?
It's actually amazing.
Everyone
It looks,
laughed. My
it
whole
looks
team's
great.
just like, we quit.
She's got it from here. How, if at all, did taking a break from acting, did it like strengthen or undermine the enjoyment that you
It
personally
made me a
get
lot stronger.
out of watching movies? Like removing yourself from the business, how, if at all, does that like impact the own personal enjoyment that you get out of watching movies?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I don't think so, because I can always watch movies. Like they're, you know, I've always loved movies. You can get lost in it. That's why I like reality TV. So much. What if I just never finish that sentence? Like, because I love movies so much. But like, it's a fourth wall thing. I can't finish the thought. I will notice, you know, great acting or like something like, wow, I couldn't do that. That's amazing. Or, you know, what a beautiful line. But I don't really think too much about you know, what's going on behind the scenes, unless it's like a boring movie and then I start, you know, if I'm noticing the camera work, it's probably a bad thing. Okay, is this one bad? What do you mean? What do you mean by shaking it? What are you doing? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
You don't have to if you don't want to, and I recommend that you don't.
I won't. I actually feel better. For a mind trick.
And just in time, it's been an amazing journey, not through only the spice, but also through your career. To bring things full circle, from learning to skin squirrels, archery, ballroom dancing, and beyond.
Can you explain learning to skin squirrels? Because a lot of people won't know.
Oh, right. So I should just
I'm
like
just
leave
kidding.
that
I'm
up
just
for no
kidding.
context. Winter's Bone. All part of the character development, all part of the prep. But I'm curious, is there a skill, a specialized skill that you've learned over the course of your acting career that's been the most valuable or